Welcome everybody to Lunchtime Live with Artinian Gems. We will be starting here in just a moment. We'll be welcoming you as you arrive. So welcome everybody to we are very Lunchtime Live with our Okay, we had a little technical issue there. Well, it's been solved. We were getting feedback because we had our Facebook Live up at the same time. So welcome to Lunchtime Live with Artinian Gems. We have today a conversation about one of the most rare, one of the most beautiful, one of the most sought after gems on planet Earth, and that is the gemstone alexandrite. Today we have our team with us. First of all, let me introduce you to who we have with us. My wife, Nong, my partner in life, my partner in business. And we travel the world together. But primarily, Nong manages our office here in San Diego. And next to Nong, we have Stephanie.
Hi, everybody.
You may have talked to her on the phone. When people call the office, they will often be speaking to Stephanie. And she is also a gemologist, and so she's very knowledgeable about gemstones, very knowledgeable about alexandrites. So we're going to be launching here in just a moment. Do we have any early questions yet in Facebook Live? We'll be taking your questions, but here's something we want to share with you. We will be giving away a beautiful, natural Brazilian alexandrite today. And Stephanie, so how are we going to give away this gem?
So it's easy. If you want to be entered in to win a free gemstone, all you have to do is in the comments, tag 3 of your friends, and then let us know where you're joining us from and send us your email. You can either put it in the comments or DM us your email. Okay. And then we'll be announcing the winner next Thursday, and we'll also send you an email. And so tune in for that because that's going to be amazing. So
yeah, every week we're going to be doing Lunchtime Live on Thursday. It'll be Lunchtime Live Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Central. So actually, all you Central time zone people, you will be actually at our lunchtime, and then 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and it's actually 10 a.m. here in Pacific time zone. We are broadcasting live from San Diego. This is where our office is. But not only do we have an office here, but we have a branch of our company in Eastern Thailand. So my brother-in-law, his wife, and her older brother, they are world-class gemstone artists. They're located in Chanthaburi, Thailand. That's one of the world's centers for gem cutting. In fact, what I'll do is I'll go to Cambodia, I'll go to Sri Lanka, go to Madagascar, parts of Africa, Brazil, wherever beautiful gems are found. And I will source the most beautiful rough or sometimes poorly cut gems and then take them to our team in Thailand, where they turn each gem into a work of art. But let's start out today. Look right behind me. We're talking about alexandrite, and that is the island of Madagascar right there, in a place called Ilakaka, and that is in the southern part of Madagascar, where some of the most beautiful alexandrites are found. And in Minas Gerais, Brazil, is another source for alexandrite. Back in the 1980s, there was a fairly big find. My dad happened to be there at the time, and all of a sudden he heard this word alexandrite, alexandrite, alexandrite. He didn't know what it was back then, but he got in early on some of the rare alexandrites. Another source, the Brazilian deposit of alexandrite just kind of petered out. They found some in India. And so that's been an area where they've mined some alexandrite in India. There are some other locations around the world. Obviously, we haven't talked about Russia yet, and we'll get onto that in a little bit. But what's famous about alexandrite? There are a couple things that are famous, and we'll get into that as soon as we look at some alexandrite. So let's go ahead, and we are going to highlight the turntable. And on this turntable, we have some gems here. And these gems are all in the same family. Can you tell us a little bit about them, Stephanie?
Yes, so alexandrite is all members of the chrysoberyl family. The alexandrite was originally found in the Ural Mountains of Russia in the 1830s. And it's actually named after the Tsar Alexander II, whose birthday the gem was allegedly discovered. So there is a beautiful alexandrite there. That is actually the one we will be giving away. And
yes, we are giving away this alexandrite.
It's a round too, which is very rare.
And indeed, we just need our person here to put the light on for us.
No.
We're gonna show you the color change features of alexandrite here.
All right.
So let's take a look at it.
Let's take a look. So we have to block out the light above because the color change is shown with different lighting, the fluorescent lighting or daylight, and then the incandescent light.
So here we have
candlelight.
Here we have alexandrite. Look at this under natural light. This one is a Brazilian alexandrite. It's got some
very
blue green
pretty
to it, and then under incandescent. Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that
purplish red.
Yeah, back to natural light. So alexandrite is part of the chrysoberyl family, and the chrysoberyl, if you're a geek and you're really into the chemical properties, is beryllium silicate oxide. And so look at that. I'm sorry, beryllium
aluminum oxide. And then the actual element that the trace element that causes the color change is actually chromium.
Yeah, look at that. A little trace element of chromium,
which brings out the red and the green in the stone, depending on the light source.
It is so rare. I mean, for all of those elements to be in one place with a hint of chromium, that's one of the reasons why it is such a valuable gem, because it's so rare. Now, we just mentioned a moment ago about chrysoberyl. This is your regular chrysoberyl. And the chrysoberyl can come in a yellowish green, a greenish color, but this is your regular chrysoberyl. It does not display a color change. One of the most famous chrysoberyl types is this one, it's cat's eye chrysoberyl.
Oh, look at that. So what causes the cat's eye is actually tiny, what they call silk-like needles. So super tiny little needles that are oriented the same direction. And they're actually rutile needles. And that is what causes that, what they call chatoyancy.
Yeah. So alexandrite is the family of chrysoberyl.
Whoopsie. I like to dance around.
Let's see if I can get this gem to cooperate. There we go. Now, there is a very special gem that,
which is super rare. That is
extremely rare.
Alexandrite cat's eye. Yes. Look at that color change. My gosh.
There's
purple red
change,
to greenish.
And there's the cat's eye.
Very nice.
Well, let's get that color change going. Okay, there we go. Color change.
Look at that. And in a cat's eye, you want a nice straight line that goes right in the middle, just like that. And then the alexandrite, of course, you want that nice, strong color change from green to purplish red. Emerald by day, ruby by night is the saying for alexandrite.
You know, people ask, what does it look like in the natural? Okay, so this is natural, uncut alexandrite.
That's the rough.
Can you imagine that?
How would you know that that was alexandrite, David? I mean,
well, you would, for one thing, if you were a mineralogist or a gemologist, you would have your lights. You would show it under natural, then you'd show it under incandescent. You'd be able to see that it is a color change gem, and then you'd start breaking it down. The hardness is going to be unique.
That's right. It's 8.5. So alexandrite is a really great stone to wear every day. It's going to hold up very nicely. It's very strong and it is very tough. And it does not have any cleavage, which means that it will not split in half. Some gems may be very hard, But if hit on the right angle with the right amount of force, it can split. But alexandrite is not one of those gems. Great for everyday wear.
Now, let me tell you a story about alexandrite. I mean, it was originally found in the Ural Mountains of Russia. Now, those deposits, when the first early mineralogists found it, they thought it was possibly emerald because it was so green. And they thought,
I can see that.
Yeah, we found an emerald.
Look at how green that one is.
But then they noticed the hardness was different, and they noticed the color change. Look at that.
And the weight, right, David?
Yeah.
Alexandrite's very heavy.
It's quite heavy. It's quite hard. And after some research, they discovered that it was not emerald. It was actually a brand new gemstone.
That's amazing.
Now, that deposit didn't take long before it was played out. Now, back in the 1980s in Brazil, they found it in the state called Minas Gerais, and that became the next famous location. And in fact, the emerald that is in the tweezers right here, I mean,
alexandrite. It confused even David.
The alexandrite that's in the tweezers right here is actually a Brazilian alexandrite.
Beautiful. And the Brazilian alexandrites are actually known to be a little bit larger than the Russians, or they can be, I should say. And then the color change can be very strong, like the Russian alexandrites. And the clarity can be actually even better than the Russian alexandrites. So the Brazilian ones are quite
they're
nice.
Spectacular.
Yes.
Yeah, they're very much spectacular gems. Now, there are a few gems that are actually more valuable than a diamond. And alexandrite is one of them. And I'm going to give you an idea. This alexandrite right here, I'll give you an example. This one is 0.79 carats. So it's
under a carat, 0.79.
Yeah, 0.79 carats. And this one is $12,775.
So there you go.
That's your basic retail price on that is $12,775. Now, normal retail on that one might be at least $15,000, by the way.
Right.
And so, but we are wholesalers. We travel to remote sources. We buy the rough, we cut them, and we bring them to you via our own gem cutting team. Look at that.
So a diamond that size, roughly, with a decent clarity, can run probably between four to 6,000, depending on the clarity and the color of it. But as you can see, alexandrite is much more rare than diamond, and therefore more pricey.
Look at this matched pair here. It's going to come around the turntable here shortly. But a matched pair of gems is particularly difficult to come by. The reason being is that every crystal, I mean, you don't take a large crystal and cut it in half and call it good to make a matched pair.
Well, and in a crystal, right, it's not always even throughout. So you might have good clarity on one side and not necessarily good clarity on the other.
Now look at that. There's the natural light. Here's the incandescent
Beautiful.
light. Natural, incandescent, natural.
So it's really like two gems in one.
Yeah.
Because you get that color change.
And then you have to find two crystals that, first of all, colors match. You have to find two crystals that you can cut to be the same size, which is almost unheard of. And then you have to, after they're cut, you got to match them up again, because you don't even know what it's going to be like when when you're cutting it.
I love those pair. Those are beautiful.
That matched pair is also Brazilian. It's 0.92 carats, and this is actually a really good value. This one retails for $9,800.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
If you're interested in any alexandrites, just reach out to us. You can reach out to us through our website. You can call us. You can email us. Now, if you are in the trade, we can deal with you directly. But if you are a gem lover, still reach out to us, and what we will do is we will connect you with one of our trusted partners in your area.
Right.
So you can still get these gems. We'll send them to a trusted jewelry store in your area, and then you can buy the gem, and then you can have our trusted retailer put it into a beautiful mounting, custom design, just for you. Oh, by the way, Stephanie, tell us about the birthstone.
Oh, yes. So alexandrite is actually the birthstone for June. So all you June babies, this is yours. I mean, this is just one of those beautiful, unique stones, and the actual birthstone for June. That is an incredible alexandrite, David.
Yeah, this one here, I got to show you this one. This is 4.01 carats.
Wow.
Has anybody seen a 4 carat? Or maybe you have, but it's rare.
Very rare.
I mean, a half carat alexandrite is rare. A quarter of a carat alexandrite is rare.
Right.
Any alexandrite is rare, but a 4 carat. Now we'll look at this.
Wow, that is just stunning. Look at that color change.
There it is under incandescent.
Amazing.
That's a Brazilian alexandrite. I acquired this one several years ago, and I'm not in a hurry to sell it. That's for sure.
That's one of those that is going to probably stay in your little private collection for a little while, huh?
This one retails for $68,000, and it could be easily nowadays closer to $100,000.
Right.
So if you're a collector of rare things, antiquities, rare gems, this is a gem worth collecting.
Absolutely.
A lot of people nowadays are putting their money into collectibles.
That's right.
Rare art.
Well, we know the stock market is just going crazy, so put it in something a little more stable.
NFTs is another area people, digital art, they're putting their money into. And of course, rare gems is a favorite. It's been a favorite for many. And
in something like an alexandrite, you know, the price is just only going to go up just because of the rarity. I mean, they don't actually mine just for alexandrite. They find alexandrite by chance. They're mining for emeralds. They're mining for corundum, which is the sapphire and ruby family. And alexandrites are just a lucky win when they're mining. Right, David?
Yes. I mean, there's no real alexandrite mining per se. Now, I go to Sri Lanka quite a bit. I'm there a couple times a year, and alexandrite is also found in the same area that we find the sapphires and other gems.
Right.
And, you know, they don't mine it per se, but they find it in the midst of the gem gravels.
Well, it's just that it's so rare that they can't just have an alexandrite mine because they have no way of knowing when they're going to find and how much they're going to find or if they're going to find any. So they go for mining something that's a little more available, which would be the corundum family and beryl, which is emerald.
Now, not all alexandrites have a terrific color change. Now, look at this one. It's got a lovely green.
That's really pretty.
It really is. It sparkles. It's beautiful.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of peridot, that light kind of lemony lime green. It's kind of
it could
nice.
Be, or even a demantoid garnet.
Oh, right. Yes, it does definitely look like a demantoid garnet.
This is a carat 23, but you can see the color change is rather subtle. This is from Madagascar, where where many of the alexandrites have a very faint, subtle
color change. Yeah.
And that's why, even though this one's a carat 23, it's a beautiful 6mm round, it's only 6,000. So it doesn't command the same price.
So it's kind of equivalent to the price of a diamond.
Yeah. So for example, if this gem had the terrific color change of a couple of those Brazilian ones, it would have been, you know,
maybe double.
It would have been pushing 20,000.
Wow.
For a round.
Right.
Round is not a common shape.
And that's just because of the crystal structure, right, David?
Exactly. It doesn't lean towards a round.
Right. It's more long.
Well, at this point, do we have any questions? Anybody have a question about alexandrite or would like to make a comment? Look at this view. You can ask Michelle if anybody has made a comment or has a question.
Yes, we have some comments on here.
Yeah, let's take a look. I love this cat's eye.
Oh, somebody said, oh my God, how much is that? It's so sparkly. Yes, some of them are just beautiful. They have such a beautiful cut, and that's done by your brother-in-law, right,
Yes,
David?
my
That round is
brother-in-law.
just
Oh,
spectacular.
yeah, it is. He cut that gem.
That's beautiful.
Any other requests or comments?
Um, somebody asked the name. So the name comes from the Tsar Alexander II. Alexandrite was actually discovered around his birthday in the 1830s. And so that's where the name came from. It was named kind of in honor of him. And so it immediately was of interest worldwide. People were totally captivated by this gem that changes color.
And it's also related, one of the reasons it got its name is because of the Russian flag. Tell us about that, Stephanie.
That's right. So the Russian flag at the time had the red and the green. And so the gem that was discovered was green during the day, and then by candlelight it was red. So I mean, that was absolutely incredible to them. And of course, it's a Russian stone. So what are the chances?
Right.
Oh, we have another question about what colors the stone comes in.
Okay. Now the gemstone, typically your finest alexandrite will be like a bluish green under natural light. See that there?
Just like that one.
And then it'll be a reddish or purplish red under incandescent, like this one. And then you will also get an olivey color.
Yes, just like that one, olive
green,
green,
a little bit
more
like olivey green, and some of them will change to a brownish red. So then you've got some of them will be more bluish, more bluish green, and some of them will be more of a yellowish green. I don't have any of those here. A more yellowish green to kind of a brownish color. And of course, as you see in this one, this is quite a good example.
That one has a little bit of olive to it.
Slightly olivey.
Yeah, and then it's got that nice red
but
with a little bit of purple.
Yeah, the color change is quite vibrant.
Nice and strong.
Yeah. There, look at this, and here's the rough. Isn't this beautiful?
So show them that one that you just had. Yeah, that one is incredible. The cat's eye.
The cat's eye.
I actually don't, this is like the first time I've ever seen one, actually. I've seen alexandrite before, always been small, but I've never actually seen a cat's eye alexandrite, and it's super rare.
Yeah, this cat's eye is 0.65 carats. It's from Sri Lanka. I got it in one of my recent trips to Ratnapura when I was able to go. Now, this one is only 1,760.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that is a really great price.
Yeah, it's a small gem. But it's quite vibrant.
Very cool. And so let's talk about the other gems that you have on the turntable there, David.
Well, this is your cat's eye chrysoberyl.
Right. So same family.
Yeah. And then this is your chrysoberyl, your non-color changing chrysoberyl, because alexandrite is the color change variety of chrysoberyl.
And then chrysoberyl comes in that golden yellow, like a lemony lime green. What other colors does it come in?
It'll come in a little bit more stronger green. In fact, many times when I'm overseas buying alexandrite, they will bring to me green chrysoberyl. And you got to use your imagination to think that even has color change.
Oh, somebody did ask what makes it cat's eye. So the cat's eye is actually tiny little needle-like inclusions of rutile, and they're all oriented the same direction. So going east to west in the stone. And then when the light source hits it, it creates that nice long cat's eye.
Yeah, the light reflects off the cat's eye back to your eye in the form of we call it chatoyance.
Yes.
So look at this one. This is a carat 15. This is a beautiful gem. This is actually one of the finer qualities from Madagascar.
Oh, that's quite pretty.
This is a gorgeous oval. Now, one of the things you want to watch out for is how clean is the gem. And people say, well, how do you tell if a gem is really good quality? Well, obviously, you're looking at the color. The color, how is that color change? And we just described that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also want to look at the cut. How proportional is it? Is it nicely proportioned?
Right.
Part of the cut, I'm going to bring it up. Look at that. See how it's beautifully cut? Now, one of the things you got to watch out for is what's called windowing effect. Windowing effect is when you can see right through the gem. And that's because the gem will be cut too shallow. This one is cut at about a 43-degree angle, which means the light that enters the gem is reflected back to your eye rather than leaking out the back and giving you windowing. The next thing you want to look out for is clarity. How clean is that gem? So I'm going to shine the light. Now, one of the tricks to it, and I learned this early on in my gem buying travels to Brazil and Sri Lanka and all these countries, is you don't have equipment with you. You don't have a microscope. So the best thing to do is take a flashlight and put it against the side of the gem.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Anything in there is going to be lit up. If there are cracks in there, it's going to be lit up. This is actually super clean.
Yeah, so sometimes the inclusions will be like what looks like little needles inside, or what looks like little fingerprints, or it could be a crystal. So it looks like a dark spot in the center.
These are actually super clean, but look at the color change in that one.
Wow, that's
We're using
incredible.
Natural light, but the color change is even showing up. This one is spectacular. These are all actually really clean gems. Let's try it on the rough. One of the ways you buy a rough is you shine the light on the rough. So I'm going to take this gem and I'm going to shine the light on it. So now you can start to see what's inside. This is not facet grade. You can see.
So what that means is it's not a very clean rough.
Yeah. So it's not facet grade, meaning if you were to cut that gem, it would be rather opaque. But this has some interesting features to it. Look at the red zones in there.
Very cool.
That?
Yeah.
That's concentrations of chromium.
Oh, okay.
Now, if this was facet grade, all that color would have been thrown around in the gem, so it'd give it an even color change. But when you shine the light on the gem,
you really see the red.
Yeah, we can see the red, but we can also see this is full of all kinds of crystals and silkiness, and that would indicate to me that this is an ornamental piece, not suitable for cutting for for a fine piece of jewelry. Now I'm going to show. Let's do this one. This is kind of risky.
I love that one. It's so amazing. It's kind of risky.
Yeah.
Wow, it really fires up. It
that.
does look like a ruby.
It is a beautiful. Look at the color change in that. It's spectacular. Now this one you can see has
what is that? A crystal?
A little crystal, a little feather right there.
Yeah.
But it's such an amazing gem that.
Well, and the size is incredible.
So you're going to look at it. It's going to illuminate any crystals inside. However, you're buying it face up. So when you look at it face up, how does it face up? Is it clean? Are the inclusions distracting? And if they're not distracting, or if it's not in danger, if it doesn't mean the gem is in danger of cracking when being set, then you've got a spectacular gemstone.
Yeah, I can't take my eyes off of that big 4 carat. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
We have a question from Rachel who'd like to know how one might set a rough piece of alexandrite like you showed.
Oh, that's an interesting question. So you could do a pendant, you could do a ring, but you may want to just do like a wire wrapping, right, David? You wouldn't want to drill into the rough crystal. So I would probably suggest like a wire wrapping. They can make like what they call a cap on one end and wire wrap it, very kind of organic looking, and make it like a nice pendant. And in a ring, it might be difficult to wire wrap it and make it into a ring.
You could put it in a custom piece. You put it in a custom mounting. With today's technology, they can map the outer edges of that gem
and do like a bezel.
And they could do a bezel all the way around. So you have this amazing organic look to it.
Like trend piece, very cool.
Oh, yeah. Look at this one here. This is an emerald cut. It's a 0.61 carat. Beautiful color change. Look at this one from Sri Lanka.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, this recently
I love
came in
that
from Sri
cut.
Lanka. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Mhm.
Beautiful cut. And this one is 6,779.
Wow. And you don't see alexandrite in that cut, like
No.
ever.
Not very often.
I usually see ovals. I feel like that's pretty common and it makes sense looking at the crystal, but never in that like rectangular or squared look. So interesting.
Look at these. So if you have interest in this alexandrite, just reach out to us. And if you're a store and you have a client, we do virtual showings almost every day. So if you've got a client and you want to show the gemstone live, you can jump on a call with us. We do it through Zoom, and the gems look just like this on the turntable, and you can present the gem, and we can do it together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, if you are a gem lover, reach out to us, and we'll hook you up with a retailer in your area. And we'll jump on a call just like we are, except just for you. And we can look through dozens and dozens of alexandrites. This is just a sampling.
Or any gemstone that you may be interested in.
Any gemstone.
We're happy to do that.
Exactly. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is we're getting gems all the time. So, in fact, we are receiving today from Sri Lanka.
Drum roll.
Yeah, alexandrites that I recently purchased. And
I'm so excited.
I was hoping they were going to be here for this
to showcase.
Yeah, to showcase today, but
they're
not here. And so, if you're interested, just reach out to us, and we will
happily show you.
We'll happily show you. We'll educate you. We'll help you. If you work in a retail environment, we will partner with you in your store and help you show and explain the rarity and mystery of alexandrite. So do we have any final questions? It's been a half an hour. We want to keep it short and sweet. Do we have any final questions before we sign off?
We do actually show gems on Facebook Live. How often are we doing that now, David? 3 to 4 times a week?
We are showing Facebook Live. We are doing Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Wednesdays and Thursdays. So follow us on Facebook, like us, share with your friends, and we'll
a YouTube
show you
channel.
We have YouTube.
If you want to look at gem hunting videos, I have videos of travels all over the world to the mining areas, and you can see just how we connect with the miners and communities. And the other part of what we do is we're very, very aware of just the conditions, the conditions that people live in.
I know.
And experience in life. And I go to some of these remote areas of the world, and I'm buying from the miners. And one of the things that we love to do is we love to give back to the communities that we take our gemstones from. Part of it is in eastern Thailand, in Chanthaburi, where Nong's brother, his wife, and her older brother live. We've been developing in that community, training people, because we believe people are the greatest gems of all.
Right.
One of our dearest friends lives on the border of Thailand and Burma, and he has a project there called the CARES Project. And I'm going to share my screen right now. And so you can see, just go to this website, look at what they do. They are saving people. Last night we were on a live call when they were sending out their truck into the community, literally saving families. Now, there are families that are refugees, are coming in from Burma because of the unrest, and they literally have no way to get food. And so what they're doing is they're going to the community, they're taking food, they're saving lives, and you can go to this website, you can read about them, and right now they're in desperate need of a truck because they have they have 3 teams and only 1 broken down truck.
Right.
So
get together with duct tape and bungee cords.
Bungee cords and duct tape for this truck, and they are doing the real the real work out there
Right. And they
in the
also,
fields.
right. And they also like give classes to the families on how to care for children, how to care for babies. Because a
Mhm,
lot of these people don't know how, and they're going through so much that they need the support.
mhm.
They also give them financial tools to learn how to become stable, how to manage their
Yeah.
money, and give them the resources so that they can succeed.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing, just helping families and giving them someplace to stay, but they also help nurture their families so that they can keep their children
Yeah.
and be successful
Otherwise,
in the future.
they have to send their children away, and often the children end up being trafficked, and
It's so
they end up
sad.
in horrendous situations. The
Mhm.
families get duped and tricked by the traffickers. So we're
Right.
part of this. We give back a portion of our gem. A portion of the income that we get goes directly to the CARES project. And so look at that website.
caresproject.org.
ORG, yes.
We'll put
Michelle,
it
if
up.
you could put that up
Comments.
on the comments there, then you can join us.
the link.
They need the truck, believe me.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yes.
pledged $1,000 last night to help
Yeah.
them because they have team that go out to teach the family
Mhm.
about how to manage their finance, how to save money, how to spend money. They also send out food for 14 family.
The critical conditions.
Right.
And yes, and last night one of the team members said that she was praying and to a Muslim lady who just sold her kid.
Oh.
She had to sell her child, and it's inconceivable for us. But when you're dying, you don't have
When
food,
you're
you don't,
desperate.
and your child is starving. You would rather have your child placed with at least a family or somewhere where there's food.
Mhm.
And she was absolutely devastated. But we are providing this resource for them so that they can keep their families together and heal their families and grow and develop. Just, we're so blessed here in the US. It's unbelievable how we're blessed. And so, let's just join in, let's help. Anyway, so finally, we are giving away that Alexandrite in the center. So make sure that you place all your information in the chat.
In the comments.
In the comments.
And
And
tag three people.
And then we will announce next Thursday
Who is the winner?
Yeah, who is the winner?
All right.
And-
So
and-
tune in again. We're going to be doing Lunchtime Live every week, same time. So 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so
we
much.
appreciate you for joining us. Be blessed. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.